Hello, and welcome to the Brad Beldon Show, your go-to podcast for all things roofing, the latest buzz in San Antonio, local politics, and just about anything else under the sun. Today, I'm really excited about this morning's guest, Brittany Rosenthal, a development manager for Hixon Properties right here in San Antonio, Texas. Brittany, you're the very first remote guest on the Brad Beldon Show, thus I can't thank you enough for agreeing to be our eyes and ears on the Broadway street today. Good morning.
Very honored. Glad it's working so far.
So, Brittany, you've been at Hixon Properties for almost 2 years now, but before moving back to San Antonio, you had an impressive career in the Dallas real estate market. Could you share a little bit about your background and the journey that led you to the downtown San Antonio real estate industry?
Yes, absolutely. So I went to UT Austin, graduated in 2017, moved to Dallas to work for Crow Holdings. And so I started my career in commercial real estate in the summer of 2017, where I started as an analyst with Crow Holdings. And then I transitioned into a head analyst role for about a year and a half, and then ended up on the retail fund team, where I focused on strip center retail for about 3 years or so. And then after that, COVID hit, and that was really fun. Retail tenants learned a lot about retail during COVID and how to work with those vendors. And my last year and a half at Crow was actually spent with the Crow family. So I worked in the Crow family office on their personal real estate investments. When I realized it was time to move home to San Antonio, my fiance already had moved back. My family was here. I decided I wanted to stay in the commercial real estate realm, and decided that development could be a really cool avenue to get into as I moved back to a city that I grew up in.
So you were talking about your last year and a half. Could you share with us, you went through that interview process. You were the only candidate who didn't have a CPA. You still got the job, and you said something that you told Mr. Crow something that still I laughed at to this day about why he should hire you over the 4 other finalists who had a CPA degree and you didn't. Can you tell everybody what you told him?
Well, as I was wobbling into the interview in the middle of COVID, because I just had meniscus surgery on my knee and decided to wear high heels to the interview, couldn't even drive. He had asked me, why pick you over these other more experienced candidates? And more or less I said, because I can do it, and everything that I do, I put 110% into. And if I don't know it, I'm going to learn it.
And he was sorry to see you leave, but San Antonio was the beneficiary of you departing. So, Brittany, you continue to hear people talk about the incredible growth downtown. You see the number of high-rise buildings being built right now. Western Urban's building a couple. How would you describe what's happening today in the downtown real estate market in San Antonio?
So a lot's going on downtown. We're seeing a lot of movement. We're seeing a lot of growth at the same time. What Western Urban is doing down there is unbelievable. They're building an awesome part of downtown that I think is going to help downtown grow. And then we, just north of them, are also working on a neighborhood in the River North area. So I think the downtown areas are starting to get closer and closer together. So you've got Pearl, River North, and true CBD downtown. Those 3 are starting to get a little bit closer together as the growth starts happening towards each of those areas. And as a result, I think it's just strengthening the downtown core.
So you talked about y'all's development, your Class A development, which is not right in the middle of downtown, but as y'all starting to grow north. Can you tell us about your newest building, the Soto, and why it's so unique?
Yes, definitely. So those that are familiar with San Antonio prior to me coming back, and prior to me even being born probably, we are located on the old automotive row, which is the River North area of Broadway. So it's south of the Pearl, north of downtown, as I mentioned before. And the Hixon family is partnered with the Goddard family on a very large portfolio. Over the last 5 or 6 years, they've acquired nearly 11 acres in this area. So the goal here, because a lot of these vacant buildings and vacant land don't have much going on, is to help kind of build out a community and build out a neighborhood. And so the Soto being the first project, in the line of hopefully many projects to come, started before my time at Hixon and was completed before my time at Hixon and was actually delivered in the height of COVID. So delivering Class A office, as I hear from all my coworkers in the middle of COVID, was not fun. It was 0% leased day one delivery. So spec office, 0% leased day one, not a great story. However, we have an awesome story to tell now. A lot of groups have actually left downtown, the true CBD corridor, and have come to this River North area and downsized. And as a result, I'm happy to say that our office space is about 95% leased at the Soto.
And do you think it's the design philosophies and the sustainability features that y'all have integrated into the Soto that brought companies like Pabst and XPEL to the Soto?
Absolutely. I think the Soto stands out. It's pretty obvious, being the first mass timber building of its size. It's unique. A lot of the finish out for these tenant build outs is already complete because the ceilings are this beautiful wood. We also went ahead and during the design process did raised access flooring. So all of your mechanical work is actually under the floor. So this allows just a cleaner looking space and a more efficient use of space. Not to mention the neighborhood amenities, which I think has driven companies such as Pabst and XPEL. I'm currently sitting in our food hall, our 10-vendor food hall, next to a beer hall, next to a coffee kiosk, on the same block as the office building.
Well,
so you've got about everything you need here.
And Pete's Tacos.
On the same building. Yes, and Pete's Taco House right across the street. So you can have breakfast, coffee, lunch, dinner, beers during or after work, all in the same block that you also work.
So do you think that
the amenities that we've found in the block have definitely made it more of an attractive project?
You think that the Hixon family moved there because of Pete's Tacos so that you could just walk next door and get tacos all day? I mean, it is a staple for San Antonio.
It's very convenient.
So do you think it's the tenant experience, the amenities, or the architectural features? What do you think brought people to the Soto? Because it's such a unique design, such a unique facility. It isn't where you normally would have thought you would build a downtown building. And as y'all took that 11 acres and are redeveloping it, what is it, the one thing that you hear from your clients of why they left and they moved a little bit further north?
I think they're excited to be in a new area of San Antonio. I think it's convenient. It's located right on the Broadway corridor. It's easy to get on 281, easy to get on I-10. And like I said, the amenities have just been such a big driver. Everyone knows that there's just more development to come, more F&B, food and beverage, more retail, more office, more multifamily. And I think people were excited to be in a new area, a new change of pace, and be a part of something that's coming to San Antonio.
So you let me tour the Soto building a while back, and the timbers are so large that I tried to put my arms around them. Of course, you got mad at me for doing that, but can you explain? I mean, I don't think people truly appreciate what went into design that building and why this mass timber approach is so different than anything else. It's the largest in Texas, correct?
Yes, it's the first mass timber building its size in Texas. And so Crow Holdings is actually doing a project now in the DFW area that they looked at our building kind of as an example several years ago when I was interviewing and didn't even know. So thought that was funny. But yes, the Soto is beautiful. When you walk inside there, it's jaw dropping. It's unlike any other office you've ever seen. The wood is beautiful. The way that our tenants have built out their spaces allows for them to show kind of their design and the things that are important to them without other things taking away from it. And the wood is just the perfect complement.
You said earlier you're at the Make Ready Food Market Hall. Can you explain the concept behind it and how it complements the surrounding area and the communities and what y'all are doing to promote it?
Yes, absolutely. And I'll get up in a second and kind of give you guys a behind the scenes tour since we're not open yet. We open at 11 a.m. So this building is the old Goddard Cadillac Make Ready dealership, which was the building they spit cleaned the cars before they sent them home. They got them made ready. So in order to keep this block with some of the integrity of the older historic buildings, we decided to keep two buildings on this block. The Soto was a ground up development. Make Ready Market was an adaptive reuse project. Idle Beer Hall was also an adaptive reuse project from an old auto shop. And then the Mila Coffee Kiosk is a new build ground up development. So we have a nice mix here. This building, I came on just at the right time, I'd like to say, probably a couple months after construction had started. So I really got to see the entire process, which was unbelievable. And I'll walk you guys through it here in a second, but once you see it, they did such a great job of keeping the old auto shop feel, but also making it feel like a food hall.
And so it's such a unique project. I've not seen anything like it other than at the airport. So how did y'all go about selecting? I'm sure you had a long list of people that wanted to be in there. What was the criteria and how did you prioritize A, your vendors, and B, what was the target audience that you were trying to attract? Were you trying to attract those that lived on the north side? Were you trying to attract those that lived downtown and you wanted to move a little bit further north for food? What was your thought process when y'all were going through the design there?
So we see the demographic as a bunch of different groups. We see it as the Soto tenants, the CPS employees that are right across the street, all of the 3,000 units of multifamily within a 3-minute walk, and San Antonio in general. This is close enough to downtown. It's centrally located that people can pop over for lunch, grab something for dinner. And we are excited to welcome tourists, but we don't know that that is our primary customer. We would like to think that it's people in the area coming back over and over again. And what we did in order to find these vendors was focus on local vendors. San Antonio loves local. It would have been awesome to have some big national names in the area. I don't think that's out of the question, but I think for the food hall, we wanted to stick with local vendors, whether it was their first concept, their second, or their third, someone that knew San Antonio. The only group that we have that is not from San Antonio is a group out of Austin, and this is their first location in San Antonio. So we'd like to think they're still pretty local. So I'll give you guys a lay of the land. Actually, I can walk you guys around and show you the different vendors and let you know what the offerings are.
We get a behind the scenes tour that it's exclusive to the Brad Beldon Show?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Let's see. Let's show the world the Make Ready Market.
I'm unsure if I can flip my camera. No problem. Okay. So you guys tell me if you can't see it.
No, we can see everything.
Give you guys a walkthrough. We'll start up here. So this is our Thai fried chicken concept. Gluten-free chicken tenders, which are extremely hard to find. He also has wine machines. So you can buy a wine card and you can get small pours of really nice bottles of wine.
What's a wine card? I've not heard of that concept.
Yes, so what you can do is it's pretty much like a reloadable gift card. You can put money on it, and instead of waiting in line to get your wine refilled, you just walk up and it fills it for you. It actually pours it into a glass.
Oh, that's cool. Can you do that with half and half tea at Bill Miller's?
You could probably do it with anything you want. Okay, so over here we've got our drink and smoothie concept. So Drink Bougie, this is their first brick and mortar. They've got wellness shots, smoothies, acai bowls, some of the lighter options in the food hall.
How many vendors, Brittany, are in?
You're going to love this one.
How many vendors are in your facility?
So at this time, we have 9.
Wow.
8 of which are open, but I'll walk you through that in a second. So this is our gelato concept, Casa Morgana. It actually started in Mexico City, and the couple moved here, and they're partnering with the owner of the Mexico City location to bring one to San Antonio. So it's very authentic and delicious.
I sure like the colors there.
Cantina. Oh yes, the colors are great. This is Garaje Cantina, which is a beer and wine concept. And so pretty much what this is, they actually have access on this screen and porch, which I'll walk you through in just a second. And they do beer, wine, and paletas. So continuing around, we've got Pescado Bravo, which is Mexican street food with a focus on seafood.
That's my kind of restaurant.
Owner actually has another, I know, right? He has another location, which is in the Pearl Food Hall called Chilaquil, which is a little bit of a different concept, but he's a great operator. We're really excited to have him. And then this is Four Brothers, which is the Venezuelan concept. So they have bowls, arepas, empanadas. And they are the group that's actually out of Austin. You might have recognized them from some of the UT games. They actually have a food truck that they put outside of the stadium.
So everything is a walk up and then you sit in a central area? That's the concept?
Exactly. So all common area seating. We've got booths, big tables, some tables outside. You can come with a big group. You can come with one other person, and it works. And then we've got Eat Up here, which is, for those that are familiar with Order Up, a smaller concept. They've got burgers, shakes, fries, and cookies. And Dad, they have a veggie burger and a gluten-free bun.
Very good.
So then over here, we have one space that's actually still under construction. And that's going to be a pizza concept. So pizza by the slice, salads, wings, things like that.
So you open at 11.
And then over here, last one is the retail front. So this is all local soft goods vendors in San Antonio. And they all came together, and it's one concept where you can kind of buy stuff from a bunch of different vendors.
All products made here?
Yep.
Oh,
all
that's
local
cool.
San Antonio products.
And what are the hours there, Brittany?
Yes.
11 to and 11 to when?
So we are open 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week.
So we're talking food, Brittany.
And we're pleased to say that it's been very busy.
So we're talking food, and our guest yesterday had never heard of an Uncrustable, which I find hard to believe. But I just want to set the record straight. I heard that you pack 2 in your lunch every day, 1 grape, 1 strawberry. Can you confirm or deny or take the 5th? Do you, at almost 30 years old, still eat Uncrustables?
I'm in the food hall right now, so I think I need to plead the 5th.
So that's really cool concept. Now, you said that you had a beer garden there. You know, I don't drink, so probably not my cup of tea, although, you know, I do drink a lot of tea. Can you tell us a little bit about the beer garden?
Yes, so I actually wanted to just show you guys how close it is. So you walk out these doors at Make Ready.
So you're walking back towards the Soto?
Yep. So you've got Soto right here and beer hall right here.
Very cool. So they're all on the same property?
Yep. All in the same courtyard. We've got a bunch of courtyard space, seating. We've got a screened-in porch here at the Make Ready.
So, Brittany, the beer hall, this Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, going to be open?
Yes.
Big screen TVs?
It will be open, and they actually do a massive projector. So it's bigger than most screens can get.
That's very, very cool. So you have 11 acres there. Is there anything you can talk about that is public that's in the pipeline for the remaining area that y'all haven't built on yet, or is it all top secret?
Yeah, so we're still working through some stuff. Likely the next phase will hopefully be some more food and beverage, potentially multifamily. And then we're just going to keep developing out this area and hope to use some of these buildings that we have, as well as complement it with some ground up development as well. We love keeping the integrity of the neighborhood.
Well, I think, I'm trying to encourage your mother to move downtown, but we need a dog park for all the dogs. So, you got 11 acres. If you could talk to John and, maybe on 2 or 3 of those acres, build a really large dog park, it might help with growth downtown. I'm just suggesting, but.
So I have good news. On one of our parcels, right along the river, Hops and Hounds is about to open.
Oh, very cool. So we can bring our dogs to eat day?
Yes, you can bring your dogs, you can eat, you can drink, and you can be right along the river.
That's very cool. Okay, so Brittany.
We're excited. They're hoping to open here in the next couple weeks.
I noticed that you're not wearing any burnt orange, which is disappointing, but
We've got some Aggies in the office. Sometimes I try not to offend them.
But your experience at UT, you talk about it all the time. How did your experience in the UT Business Honors Program impact your career path? I mean, I know that Crow recruited out of that program, and ultimately that led you to being here. But what did you learn in that program that helped you get to where you are at this young age and having this kind of responsibility?
I think the Business Honors Program set me up for success in a lot of different ways. I think that it provided me with connections that I otherwise wouldn't have had. A couple of my mentors actually went through the program and helped put me in touch with groups in San Antonio when I was interviewing and interested in coming back. I also feel like between the classes and my peers, it helped put me in the right headspace and be prepared for what my first job out of college would be, and how to succeed. And I feel very happy with my career path thus far. And a lot of it is attributed to everything that I learned from those professors, those peers, and what I continue to learn from my mentors. I've stayed involved in the program as an alumni, and I'm actually one of the chairs of the alumni planning committee that we're trying to get going in San Antonio, because we have a small group here, but I told them we can be mighty, so we're working on it.
So one of the things that you told me when you left UT that was one of the biggest things that impacted you was the fact that everything in your McCombs program was a team environment. Do you think that helped you at Crow? Do you think that's helped you at Hixon? And do you think that's the how universities are going to start teaching kids? Because I mean, even in the construction business, we work in teams, and we didn't used to do that.
Absolutely. I've never really thought about it fully that way, but in every job that I've had to collaborate as a team. And whether I'm helping manage a team or I'm working on a team and reporting to someone, I'm a part of a team. And at the end of the day, you have to know how to work well with people. You have to know how to read them and understand them. And I think starting that at a younger age, especially in school, when you're working on projects with groups and jumping into it that way, it has definitely helped set me up in a way that has helped me succeed. And I love working in teams. I love collaborating. I think I get better when I work in teams because I learn from someone every day.
And I mean, I think it's changed. I think it will change the whole education process. And I think it also allows students to be more upbeat. It gives them more confidence. And I just think it's a win-win. And I think I'm guessing that confidence helped you, because at Crow Holdings on multiple occasions you got to meet President Bush, and you weren't even 30 years old, and you got to be right next.
I'm still not 30 years old.
I know that, but you got to meet the president multiple times. How cool were those experiences?
They were really cool. My time at Crow Holdings, I do not take for granted. I worked at a really cool place. For those that are familiar with Old Parkland, it does not feel like an office building.
No, it's like the Ritz-Carlton.
It's awesome. And I definitely had some opportunities there that I otherwise wouldn't have had. And I'm very grateful for them and wouldn't have wanted to start my career anywhere else.
So you said that when you moved back to San Antonio for your boyfriend, fiance at the time. I want to
Well,
set.
no. He was here, and that was convenient.
Oh, okay.
But
But
not the full reason I moved.
So it wasn't because you were going to rescue Toby. It was because of Blake. So I'm just curious because I've seen the relationship with Toby.
No, I moved to rescue my dog. That's
okay,
exactly
so is Toby or Blake getting a Valentine's Day?
Don't tell Blake.
A Valentine's Day gift or both?
Well, I already ordered something for Toby.
So Brittany, you've been doing this for quite a while now. What advice would you give to aspiring developers who want to make a positive impact through their projects?
Well, I'm still new to it, especially on the development side, but I will say find projects that you're passionate about and find a team that you're passionate about, and it will come together. There will be challenges, but if you have the right people working on it and if you have the right vision, you're going to be able to get there.
So you and I are both all in on downtown. We both love the downtown environment. We both love the downtown feel. If you had a crystal ball and you were going to go to Vegas and bet a lot of money on downtown, what would you be betting on in 5 to 10 years for our amazing city?
That's hard. It depends on how the market reacts over the next couple of years. But I'd like to think, as I said before, it's going to continue to grow. And it's going to change a lot. I don't think it's going to be the same downtown that you saw when you were growing up, even the downtown that I saw when I moved back here. I think in 5 to 10 years it will be very different, but I hope that it's grown, and that I hope that it's a place that we continue to, visit. We're so close here in the Soto. And I'm just looking forward to it and making San Antonio. I say this all the time. Everyone says they want to make a place where their kids come back and they want to move back. I want a place where my friends are going to move back. So that's what I'm working on right now.
That's certainly a different way to look at it. Brittany, one of the things that you've told me over the years is there's not many women in the real estate profession, and you sure enjoy it. So what recommendations would you make to a woman considering a path in the real estate world?
Don't be intimidated. It is super intimidated when you're the only female in the room, but it gives you a unique perspective, and you can compete, and you are knowledgeable, and you can have just as loud of a voice as anyone else in the room. And I think sometimes it just takes a little bit of a reminder, but I think San Antonio does a really good job of bringing the real estate industry together and including, all the events that I'm at, there's other females, and obviously they don't represent as great of a percentage as the males, but they're there and they're respected the same.
That's very cool. Well, Brittany, I can't thank you enough for joining me today on the Brad Beldon Show, sharing your incredible insights on the San Antonio real estate world. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in today. Tomorrow's guests will be Ashley and Jack from the UT Athletic Department. We're going to talk about supporting UTSA. Be safe, everybody.